Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino to the ah. Let's get into it. Now, here's the situation. Cino, a cold mother. Shut your mouth. Letitia Brooks. Letitia. What's up, Letitia? Now, it's time I go to sicko mode. Now, let's look at things from the business perspective of it. Somebody told about when you talk business, you always get dressed up. I'm like, I do. I didn't know that. But sorry for my attire, but we'll get through that. Now, Travis Scott's McDonald's deal. Now, that was the probably the first deal they've done with a celebrity. Like where they actually, it's not really a deal, it's more of a collaboration, an experiment. And McDonald's is going to be really pissed that they did it in the way that they did because it's going to cost them through the roof next time. Now, a lot of people don't even know what it is. McDonald's has put themselves in a predicament where, it's not a real bad predicament. It's just that they put themselves in a situation where they will have to do certain things to appease in the future because they wanted to take a safe route, and with the safe route they basically messed up a lot of money that they could have coming in. I'm gonna explain that as we go on, but let's go through Travis. Right, Travis as a musician, musically, he had the most popular song out in the world with Sicko Mode. People still play that to this day. His album, people love that album and play Astro World. So he went on tour. But the thing about him is a lot of people don't know that he had a record deal with Epic Records. Okay, they did not let him out of his deal. He signed with Good Music, right? As part of a certain division called Very Good Beats. So Kanye was helping him. Then in 2013 is when he signed with T.I.'s. Then he had the Grand Hustle division. So I don't know what happened there, but he was signed to a lot of people. And when you sign to a lot of people, that means less money you're going to be getting. So he started putting out mixtapes because mixtapes, you can get paid off mixtapes. That's like basically all you. So he started dropping mixtapes. Then his debut album comes out, that Rodeo thing that dropped. Y'all remember Rodeo? When he had Antidote, and that's what really got him on the map. Okay, Kenny, you all excited. So, all right. I'm glad y'all understand that. Rodeo did make him take off. So, once he did the rodeo and he had Antidote on there, which was what put him on a lot of other people's maps that this dude is like next level, next gen. So, all of this stuff that he was doing, right? Then he had that McKnight thing that he did on the second album with Goosebumps. And Goosebumps was the one that helped get some money in and do all this other stuff. I hated that album. to be by the way. And I hated that Bird in the Trap, McKnight. Uh, but his target audience loved it. Love that album. They love Goosebumps. They love all that stuff about him. I said the Rodeo album was way better than me. See, there you go. Kenny Mo loved that album. There you go, Trey. You know better. Kenny don't. Look, Birds in the Chat. Yeah, you love that. See, I didn't. So then Astro World come out and Sicko Mode. We all know that. We all know his wife or personal girlfriend. They got a baby by. Whatever. Right? Then the reason why I told you Travis was going to make a lot of money. The reason why Travis was going to make a lot of money was because he chose not to back out of the Super Bowl. I said he's going to do a Super Bowl promotion, and everybody's like, dog, they blacklisted Cap, and the NFL blacklisted him, and you going to deal out there with all the blacks. I love Travis, man, but I don't support anything that you doing. None of that stuff. And he stayed, and he did his performance, and he did his thing and left and everything else. Because he did that, he was going to have the opportunity that you see in front of you right here today with McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? Doors open up when you take certain risks. Believe that. Travis did the tour with Drake and everything else. They had the Sicko Mode tour and all this stuff. And this is where his money came in at, because as much success as his record was making, because he signed to so many people, and I don't have the contract in front of me, so I can't tell you how many X's and O's there, but there's a lot of people who had nothing to do with that album was getting some money. You understand? Because when you sign bad deals, they come back to haunt you. They don't go away. Just when you think, man, I'm having a lot of success. I talked about that yesterday, I think, when Tory Lanez tried to run up on Travis Scott. Then we did that in a live stream. And this is why you do tours and you could do shows, because then you get to keep your money. So he did about almost $60 million off that tour. Plus, his money comes in, the majority of his money come in, not from the actual album. The album is the vehicle that opened the doors for the marketing and endorsements. He's the only one that could really get these endorsements like this. There's only a few rappers, like a handful of them, that can get this type of opportunities because he creates his own merch. Every rapper does, but his is very successful. People will buy Travis's merch. A lot of people won't buy merch from everybody. They'd be like, look, I like your songs, but I don't wear your shirt. So his actually says, these things, you know, so like his merch actually takes off. The McDonald's deal is big. No, it has the future to be really big. See, what was done here is we don't have the financials. You know, they've been very, very tight on the financials. But what happened here is not a deal, really. It's a collaboration, a partnership where they've allowed Travis, and this is why I said it's going to hurt McDonald's in the long run. Now, McDonald's said that they're going to do this collaboration with Travis and take his ideas that they have for their And it's basically another racist thing that people don't really even see. But I'll explain all of it. It's a collaboration between the two. Travis is bringing his company in to do the marketing for the merchandise. So you can get exclusive McDonald's merch, and the McDonald's employees will have new shirts and everything else. And it's like a limited time only, like the McRib, right? And it's a limited time for like a month. You can only get it from like to like October 4th or October's around that time. That's the only time the Travis meal would be available because McDonald's didn't want to take a risk of investing into another. They haven't invested into another artist or entertainer since Michael Jordan back in 92. So they're not going to invest in another and pay money to advertise. It's too much money, they think. Now, Travis menu has been selling off the shelf because it's a $6 menu. And that's what I'm saying. They take a black athlete and make a meal and make it cheap for $6. You know, the quarter pounder meal, you get a Sprite, the Travis sicko mode burger thing. And they make it really cheap and say it's $6. And, you know, that they use us to market cheap all the time. And they use whites to market expensive. They've been doing this since the beginning of time, and it's got to stop. So that's what I'm saying about the actual, like, what's really happening here. So McDonald's, because they were so scary to commit to this deal, they could have had this for the whole year. Travis was going to make some appearances at some of the McDonald's. McDonald's used their marketing team to blow this up to a lie and have everybody flood the McDonald's, make it a big thing, which wasn't really a lie, but they just over exaggerated it. And it was like, oh, they had to rush him out of there. They're running out of supplies for the burgers are selling out, which they're selling very good, but I don't see nobody really rushing the stores like that. But hey, different areas, different folks. But this is a limited edition. When you say limited edition, people got to have it. It's just like collectors. Like when they go in there and they be like, we have the limited edition. I need that limited edition. You know, collectors, they got to have it. So this is where it's going to hurt McDonald's. McDonald's numbers are up tremendously for the whole month of September. They started September 8th. It's only been 2 weeks. They've already hit the mark, the benchmark that they thought that they were going to make. They haven't told anybody what that is, but they've almost doubled what they thought they were going to get for the entire project in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. They're already there. So now, oh, thanks, Alexander Wilson. Exactly. But here's the thing: McDonald's is the only corporation that really opened its doors to African American ownership and African American, um, general managers and presidents. Even though he was fired very swiftly, the black president. I mean, they had a president of McDonald's that was black, was a black man. So, and this was years ago, back when nobody else would even have fathomed to do it. Now, let's get to the gist of everything else. Things started to change, and thank you also for your super chat. I appreciate that. Alexander Wilson. Chappelle made fun of this like 20 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's how McDonald's did. You know, Michael Jordan left them after they did a deal with Michael Jordan, and after his McDonald's contract was up, that was the last time they dealt with an athlete or entertainer. They was pretty much upset that he left and did bigger and better things because he realized, all right, McDonald's, this was nice, but I'm bigger than McDonald's, and y'all don't have enough money for me. So NLE Chopper came off looking like a hater, but trying to promote himself by dissing McDonald's. Now, if you want to talk to AD, who makes $200-something million contracts and all that, and making all this money, finna get a Supermax deal, and he got that Ruffles deal, and I'm like, and you dealing with Rich Paul. This is what a deal looks like. That could be lucrative. This is what it looks like. So all the ingredients they talking about, they running out for the quarter pounder and all this stuff. Now, nobody even care about the food. People are rushing in there to buy merch. McDonald's has turned into a merch store. They're distributing Travis's merch. This is a way for Travis to make money on his merch, and he still has ownership because it's a collaboration. It's not a deal. So a lot of upfront money wasn't distributed. You see what I'm saying? So when you have a lot of money that's not distributed, McDonald's didn't take a lot of big risks. So now that they've hit the benchmarks and went way above and beyond, now when you try to do this collaboration again with Travis, his marketing team, hopefully they're not stupid. They are going to go, now it's going to go through the roof, where you could have had signed Travis for about 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. Exactly. They always have. Watch The Founder. It's on Netflix now, Alexander Wilson. The first McDonald's, what they call McDonald's 1, is right here in Des Plaines, which is down the street. I wouldn't say down the street. It's about 20 minutes from me now, but it used to be around the corner from me. They call McDonald's 1, that location. They still got the replica old McDonald's there. I think they just moved it downtown for some reason. Like they're going to put that old McDonald's into history. But watch The Founder with Michael Keaton. It's the history of McDonald's. And then you'll see the 2 McDonald brothers that actually started McDonald's. And you see Ray Kroc, the guy that came in and took McDonald's and took their name and made it into a $1 billion chain based off real estate. Because he was trying to become rich basically off opening franchises, and it's just too much work. If you're personally doing that, you only got 24 hours in a day. His wife is stressed out. He can't go from place to place and do all these different things, and he's like, I'm stressed out trying to go from here to there. So he created what they call now the Ray Kroc system. Every company uses it. And what they basically do is let you be the boss. Let you, if somebody open up a business, a McDonald's, and say, you're going to keep 96% of the profits at this location. 96%. And I'm taking 4%. You'll take that deal in a heartbeat. You like, this location. That's right. You run the show. You're the president of this McDonald's. You get 96% of the profits. You gotta, pay all everything else. I just get my 4%. You gonna go bet? Who wouldn't take that deal? So you'll take that 4% from that place. You open up another one. You do the same thing. Take one of your top workers there and teach them how to run the business and say, hey, I'm going to let you own this McDonald's. Sign here. You're going to be the president of this McDonald's. You're going to get 96% of the profits. I'm only taking 4%. Bet! Woo! Now he's going to make a lot of money. But what are you getting? What are you getting out of the deal? Why is he only taking 4%? Why is he only taking 4? And giving them 96% of the profits. And he's only taking 4%. What is he getting for that 4% that he's willing to give up 96% of profits from that location? The answer, TIME. He's buying time. Time for dollars. So those guys got 96% of the profits for that location. But guess what? They're going to make a large amount of money working at that location. But you know what? They got to go to work. And they only going to get 90%, 96% of the profits from that location. Only from that location. So your 4% is going to go through as many times as you do it. Think of how many times they've done it. You know how many McDonald's there are now in the United States of America? That 4% from all of those McDonald's all adds up. He hadn't even have to walk in there again. He gets 4% for the rest of his life. And he don't have to do any work. It's done. They got to work. Whoever's the president, they working. You don't have to do nothing. You're getting paid off the land. 4%. So you're not in the restaurant business. You're in the real estate business. McDonald's is a real estate. And it's a rich piece of real estate because Ray Kroc used to own the Pittsburgh, what's that, the Pirates? And he passed away. And his kids are now the richest kids. They never have to work. Their grandkids will never have to work a day in their life. I've eaten KFC in the 1920s. I mean, 1920s. Jesus Christ. In the 1990s. And when I had it in the 1990s, in the 1980s, you had like a real piece of chicken. If you had a drumstick from 1990 and the drumstick you get now, the drumstick is like this big now. The one they had was like this big, and it was like a real drumstick of a chicken. Now you get a drumstick about that big, like the chicken leg been broken up, and then they give it to you. Like, there you go. I'm like, I wouldn't even eat that. So back to Travis's deal. Now McDonald's realized they screwed up. McDonald's has already hit their quota. And by you hitting your benchmarks this early and you going this far and all of these things are taking place and the customers are coming in there, they're coming for the merch. They don't care about the $6 burger, but you selling your little burgers, your Sprite and your fries right along with the merch. Now, Vicky Chancellor, she's the financial, what they call the marketing officer for McDonald's. So she headlines all the national advertisement money. So she started talking about, she's the one that's been putting out all this fake stuff. Morgan and Vicky, you know, they both are in charge of the McDonald's marketing. They what they do is send out these memos to everybody talking about the independent operators who run 95% of McDonald's locations in the United States, to make sure that the crew knows how much you appreciate their efforts and promotions. You know, you're going to be receiving custom t-shirts designed by Scott's Cactus Jack label as part of the partnership that they have. So all of them got short, shirts and all this stuff. And they're going to be wearing it to advertise for this short period of time, the limited time collaborative. And when you see the poster, read the top of it. It says limited time collab, Travis Scott, the Travis Scott meal. McDonald's wanted to let people know to be safe. This is a limited time thing. So you need to grab it now. And when you advertise merch, and he sells a lot of merch, here you go. Now they want to add this "Say Cactus Jack sent you" to some of the customers. Then they got like, let's say the Fortnite burger guy, or It's Lit, or Sicko Mode. You know why I'm here, playing Travis Scott music. They have come up with in all these different marketing things they're throwing out to try to get people interested. But what was very interesting is that Travis is involved in all of this. In case you don't know, Travis also had a multi-million-dollar deal with Fortnite. All of this because of the Super Bowl. You guys got to understand something. This is why people don't get paid to do the Super Bowl, because they know and they understand there's bigger things to play here. Absolutely. But Wendy's gave ownership to a black man first. I think they were the first one to have a black man, and he came from like East Chicago, Indiana. And he used to play in the NBA. He was actually traded for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His name, I can't think of it right now, but my dad went to that school with him. But he was before my dad, of course. And that man ended up buying Wendy's. He bought his first Wendy's, then he bought 2 and 3, then he ended up buying his own distribution of Coca-Cola. Junior Bridgman. Okay, yeah, there you go. But it started with his own Wendy's. And a lot of people didn't like Wendy's food at the time. And it started in Milwaukee, which is not that far from here. Now Junior Bridgman has about 500 million. Okay, Bear, you got your PS5 through Sony? That's what's up. You said he's at 720 million? Yeah, it was up there. Last time I remember, he was at like over 500 million, but they don't even think that's accurate. He sold most of his Wendy's chains. He sold a large part of his Wendy's chains and went into another division. Um, Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but they're charging you they charging you $70 for the games. The games are up $20. It's the games. Sony has better exclusive games, like only for the Sony PlayStation. They have better. They have better games. The merch is selling like crazy. People don't understand how Travis sells merch. Like me, I ain't gonna buy no Travis merch because that's not my demographic. I'm out of that. But other these young kids, man, they love it. He's like he got the black skateboard crowd or whatever. But he's tapped into the merch and he's been selling merch for a long time. He was selling the albums with the merch. Nowadays, like what's the name? Billboard finna stop counting merch sales with I don't know. But yeah, the only thing I was saying is that it's gonna cost them more down the road now. Because now you have to, if you were, let's say, let's just say that McDonald's merchandise is going to be worth more than any merch that you can buy online right now. It's a limited edition. Whenever they say limited edition, you are anybody who's a collector already know what time it is. And believe me, these young kids, they know they want to buy all the merch. So they'll go to McDonald's and buy that combo. They'll do whatever they got to do. And McDonald's is selling food. Travis is making money. They're gonna re-up with Travis, and it's gonna be a very lucrative re-up. Let's just say he finna get the Supermax. Because this is where his majority of his money is. This is where the money comes from. You don't make no money off your albums. You don't. That's the sad part about the music. The album, the record company makes the money. They're making the money. The artist who went and made the records, the way you do, the way it pays off for you, tour, shows. But now they're taking so much upfront money, the artist is, that they would cut the record company in on merchandising or like advertising and promoting them and paying them from their shows. Like you get paid on shows, merch, everything. They're signing the 360 deal. And people go, oh, this is terrible. Jay-Z was in a 360 deal. People did not understand what I was telling them. I'm like, Jay-Z signed with Live Nation. He signed a 360 deal. Cloud streaming will make consoles obsolete in the future. Consoles will never be obsolete because cloud is you're depending on somebody else to do something. Like you're hoping that it's there. What happens when the cloud goes down? And you can't physically grab your game and put it in a console and play it. There's still people that physically want to be able to do that. That's why I have the choice, the option. That's why I got the 499 one because I want to use a disc and then because I don't want to be putting all that stuff. Look how many gigabytes it's gonna probably take for a game. Right, and this has no lag time. I got my PS2 here. I'm gonna put my PS4 over there because I'm just gonna buy another TV and put it in there because I had no TV in that room. That was like my relaxing room. I go in there to relax. That's that. Now I'm gonna just buy a TV and throw it in there. Get a 4K TV, slap it in there. And downstairs, I'm gonna have that's where the 5's gonna be. So we're gonna be good to go. I got Demon Souls. Ugh. Right, I got a 4K player now. That's gonna be obsolete because now I just play everything off the 5. What was what would you think was Travis's best? Was Astro World his best work? Mixtape or album? Which one you would think was Travis's best? I'm curious. I don't know if Kenny's still here. Oh, he got like the time. I think Rodeo was the best. You say days before the Rodeo mixtape. I think Rodeo was his best because I think that's the one that had the song I like. The Antidote. Antidote was the song I like. I don't think I remember days before the rodeo. Um, I think didn't that thing have Antidote on that too? Wasn't that like a mixtape? And they had some of the songs that was on the album. So it might just be. I just got to go check it out. I don't think I really remember that one. Oh, Shada Prince wrote basically all of Astro World. I could believe it. Oh, it had Mama Sita and Don't Play. Now I liked Mama Sita. I remember that. I didn't even know that was him. I didn't. I didn't know it was him. Yeah. So don't forget on the Casino for Life channel, we got the Kawhi Leonard video right now that's up. Do you think Kawhi injury played a part in it? The Cash App is Casino, Karceno. One Crack News. Thank you. Keeping y'all updated on all the news going on. I'm out.